What's up guys, it's the Devil's Talent here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at how to W key in the new season by analyzing two insane controller players as well as a Fortnite OG, and that is going to be by looking at Scoped, Tfue, and Co1azo. But before I get into this analysis guys, if you do enjoy my content or find what I'm telling you helpful, please drop a like on this video, hit that subscribe button, we are so close to 500 subs, and turn on post notifications. But without further ado, let's just jump right into it. Alright, as you can see on the screen we have Scoped POV. This is going to be the first game of Frosted Frenzy, and they are W keying obviously because it is first game, and because the tournament, I believe in this format, is extremely based on kills. This is first day, and as you can see, he has one elimination for 2 points, so this is first day. He has obviously gotten a kill, and now notice they've sent up a kind of far away pinch. Now, you're going to see him take an engagement where he kind of gets a tad bit isolated. He gets some frags, but look at his teammates. Look how far they are. And his objective here is going to try and stay alive. They tell him to stay alive. They stay alive. That is exactly true. He needs to do his best to stay alive and wait till his teammates get there. And that's exactly what he does. So really good job from Scoped. When you get isolated as a trio, it's really your best job to stall. He does an excellent job of thus getting a pick as well. It looks like this opponent has probably run out of materials, which is probably exactly what happened. And so now they continue on their W keying spree. We don't see how this other opponent had his teammates eliminated, but he attempts to go for piece control here. Should have, he gets the cone in, but should have gone wall, then cone. Gets it right here. Edits through, boom, GG's. Sorry guys, I apologize. There was an ad. They have flown on this particular trio now. Some great pre-fight damage, and notice here, I'm just going to pause the video right quick. Look at where they're at. We have Tfue spraying from this direction. We have Co1azo over here, and Scope sitting on here. They have kind of what's forming just a very, very wide pitch from a lot of different angles, and this allows basically an opponent to get isolated. The other trios are coming all the way together, and they decide to rift. So they decide to hit it. So what they end up doing is deciding to go and rift, and what ends up happening is they end up getting fried, as you're going to see, which sometimes can happen with rifts. They tell him to land on him. They tell him to land, and unfortunately Co1azo ends up getting fried. Scope ends up landing as well. This engagement is by far the worst of all the engagements thus far that we're going to witness in this particular VOD review. Good comms from Co1azo saying please do not edit, because Co1azo was trying to get his heels off. Now unfortunately Scoped, unaware of that back, getting fried a little bit, using his materials to get some space, and gets quick heals off as opposed to minis. And so you're going to see a nice 1v3 clutch by Scoped. Beautiful. Just gets two people over aggressing. Comms from Tfue saying, hey, you need to get your finish. Beautiful. Beautiful. Said he's a W keying bot. Goes up and gets some extra space. That opponent should have gone for those two finishes, but instead he psychos in for no apparent reason, and they ended up getting Scoped. Scoped ends up getting Co1azo and Tfue up. Said that these kids are lost. He doesn't even know. These kids obviously don't want to engage, and now they kind of put the pedal to the gas, put the pressure on their throat. Constant pressure from Scoped right here. And notice immediately, kind of same different thing. Look at this. Co1azo on this backside, Tfue on this backside, and Scoped being in here as well. Creating all different angles for this trio to essentially to have to deal with. It was actually the duo. Finally, the third mate got up there with him as well. But they're still getting spammed out by Co1azo. Tfue coming in and box fighting. Ends up getting a kill. Beautiful, gets in, jumps in as well. And now it's just 50-50s. Co1azo, and they just kind of suffocate and chokehold that point. They said, yeah. They look really bad. Here's another great indication that a team is bad. One, they're boxing up on edge zone in what is not even a stack game. Number one, you definitely, this is looking like third zone at least. So if they're not boxing up towards mid-center zone, they obviously don't have a lot of tournament experience. Another thing that kind of signifies this is they're boxing up in wood. Boxing up in wood is really, really bad. And this opponent is actually cone peeking in wood, where Scone tells them to 3, 2, 1. And gets absolutely fried, and then does a great job shooting through with the Scar, and then excellent job of then using the shotgun. Those kids were absolutely horrendous, and it's good to recognize that those kids are bad. That's exactly what ends up happening. A shock. You're going to see a little aim assist classic. Fries him out of there. Really, really good stuff. Scope making kind of solo play. I wanted to advise this. This can really get you popped off. Oh, I did not see that Co1azo was actually below him. Never mind. That's just a good another pinch. So my apologies about stating that right here. Just look at this pinch right here. I didn't even see where Co1azo was on the map, but this makes so much more sense why they went for this play. When I watched it originally, I was like, why is Scope isolating as a solo? So he tells Co1azo, hey, you want to jump in? Co1azo is actually right underneath, so they create a top and bottom pinch. So even if Scope kind of gets hurt right here, Co1azo can kind of spray up and make it very, very uncomfortable. It's a really good job. This game isn't super stacked, as you see 14 opponents. They have 24 kills. Good recognition that he's dropping down. That's one of the best times. If you're up on height and you hear someone chopping. Metro Classic's in, does a great job of spraying through with the Scar and ends the fight extremely fast. Metro Classic. Great crosshair placement from Scope right there. A big, beautiful 126 hit. Excellent, good shot right there as well. Fries him out of the air. And Scope plays ahead, beautiful with a bouncer, and catches an opponent lurking, not playing smart at all. Co1azo, unfortunately, getting taken out at some point. But it's a 2v2 with Scope being the most ahead. Fortunately not really jumping in too crazily. Beautiful right-hand peek. Attempts to edit through with the blueprints. And then attempts to establish piece control. He sees the opponent on high ground. Bouncer forward. Great decision from Scope to shockwave up. It all gets broken out. Does a great job of not taking any damage. Beautiful right-hand peek again. Opponent ends up being dead to Storm. And that is a GG's in the first game. Really, really great stuff. It looks like this is the second portion of Frosted Frenzy. So game number 1 again. Beautiful, great shots from Scoped right there. They get those 2 points. We're going to see, hopefully, if this is the second format of that day. It looks weird why it wouldn't let him build there. Tries to go for piece control. Unfortunately, does not end up working out. Notice how Scope's playing a tad bit solo. So he goes back up to height to get closer to it. Cracks. Beautiful. Great job. Great crosshair placement. His aim was really, really good there with the hip fire. They got their finish. So this is game number 2 of day 1. Gets a wall in front. I don't know what ends up happening, but the fight ends up getting drawn out. Either that opponent ends up escaping or standing away, or another opponent ends up getting it, or another teammate, sorry, not opponent. Just, unfortunately, that was kind of an open peek. Ends up eating quite a bit of damage. Good comps from Co1azo. Say 1 inch, 1 hit. Beautiful. Gets it. As the opponent tries to edit out. Co1azo giving excellent comps as well. On my wall, on my wall. Beautiful. Cracks him. Good comps. He's going to let him pop a flopper so he gets more of the siphon from it. Notice how their communication is really excellent. Cracks him for 84. They got him up. Unfortunately, used the shock just as that happened. And again, notice how there's only 23. They're kind of storm fighting. He shockwaves. Gets right to Co1azo. Tfue unfortunately getting taken out. it is later revealed that he ends up getting sniped. But they're just doing a great job of giving each other information. Obviously, they're extremely talented, so winning a lot of their solo and slash duo engagements. However, there's times where they just set up wiping trios so easily. Comms, hey, they're chopping out, excellent. Same time, just synergizing right here. Now this gets a little bit skippy. Good. This is the movement right there was nuts, but notice Co1azo right there behind to immediately fry that out. Really good aim from Scope as that opponent basically zoots right into his forehead, and he gets a lot of pre-fight damage. Great job getting ahead, and then gets right back. They have so many mats as well, so many bouncers. A little aim assist classic. And another fry. This is what height can do for you. This gives you so many free picks. And Co1azo gets it. They get a full trio wipe. I don't know where that kid's bouncing, but it's not to zone. He ends up getting the elimination. Just really, really great shots from Scope coming out. And it ends up going a little bit towards back. Notice how many mats they have. Catches an opponent healing. Another aim assist classic. Good decision. Go for the body. Nice refresh, even though they didn't need it. He got all of his brick back, so he is extremely healthy. He also gets another knock from in the storm. He has so many mats, so there's really no issue with worrying about dropping low. Gets hit for a little bit. Kid is white. And then he notices an opponent here in his builds and two nice, beautiful cracks. And that's it. Scope shockwaves up. And two cracks. That is a GG's from Scope right there. The biggest takeaway I saw from Tfue, Co1azo, and Scope's gameplay was the way that they attacked trios they were W keying who were boxed up. I love that they took multiple angles, usually with Tfue being up and close, Co1azo spraying from a different distance, and Scoped either box fighting or spraying from a different angle. This basically created chokeholds and pinches and isolated certain members of the trios that they were keying, thus allowing them to end the fights quickly and for them to move on, as well as racking a quick amount of points fast. Another thing that I really was impressed with was their communication. I know that it's a meme to think controller players are brainless, but as you can hear Co1azo giving out excellent comms, telling him stay up in dirty when Scoped got isolated, realizing the importance of him getting picked off if, again, as a solo, playing solo in trios gets you absolutely crushed. You get punished for it a lot more than you do in duos. So again, Co1azo's awareness to be like, look, you need to stay up, you need to stall till we get there. Scope does a great job as well of that, while stalling, getting his heals off, and then eventually end up getting an elimination on one of the actual what was a duo. You also heard it with Co1azo telling Scope, hey, please don't make any edits, I need to get these heals off, I'm fried. It's just little nuanced things. You hear Co1azo talking, I knocked on height, I'm chopping down, just tons and tons of information, and this is extremely crucial in trios, and it's an underrated part of their game. I believe they'll probably get that, oh, it's just aim assist and it's just controller, but they demonstrated, to at least in my opinion, a great understanding of the importance of comms as well as creating angles to end fights fast. Well, guys, that is going to do it for today's VOD review. I hope that you did enjoy. If you did, please drop a like on this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on post notifications. And I hope that I'll be seeing you in the next one. Peace.